Hi, this is Gila. Not long after the rejection of asylum to Asia Bibi for allegedly criticising Mohammed in Pakistan, now we have learnt that our Muslim Home Secretary has rejected the application for asylum by an Iranian man who has embraced Christianity and is therefore an apostate according to Islamic sharia law. Accordingly, he will be murdered if forced back to Iran. Not only that, but to add insult to injury, apparently the Home Office took it upon themselves to find as many violent verses as they could in the Bible in their rejection in order to try to make out that Christianity is not a peaceful religion. Until now, I wasn't aware that trying to discredit the theology of our head of state, the Queen herself, who is actually head of the Church of England, was part of the British Home Office's remit. The violence recorded in the Bible is essentially descriptive of events thousands of years ago. Even the famous eye for an eye is not a literal commandment, but means, certainly according to Jewish understanding, that monetary compensation is required for injury. Terrible things have been done in the past in the name of Christianity before most people were allowed or even able to read the Bible in a language they could understand, but are actually against what Christian theology really teaches. The golden rule is to do unto others as you would like to be done to you. In other words, treat everyone, whatever their beliefs or differences, with sensitivity and respect. This golden rule is also fundamental to Judaism, the parent of Christianity, and forms the basis for our Western society of freedom and the rights of the individual. The 10 Commandments given by the Creator to over 1 million Israelites at the same time, the only time when such an amazing revelation has been recorded in history, include obligations not to murder, not to steal, not to covet, and not to lie. Unlike Christianity and Judaism, which teach respect and sensitivity to all human beings, irrespective of their beliefs or their ethnicity, or their gender, Islamic ideology, with regard to non-Muslims, is essentially a supremacist, hateful, misogynistic, and bigoted political ideology as revolting as Nazism, with the highly dangerous religious imperative that this is supposedly the unchanging will of the Creator, and with the later more violent verses commanding faithful Muslims to subjugate, abuse, or murder non-Muslims, simply because of their beliefs, abrogating any earlier more peaceful ones which contradict them. Based on Quran verse 9:29, non-Muslims who are Christians or Jews are only allowed to exist under Islamic Sharia law as deliberately humiliated second-class citizens, dhimmis, with no recourse to any real justice against Muslims. Anyone else faces the bleak choice of forced conversion to Islam or being murdered. Millions of Hindus were slaughtered accordingly in India. The only one sure way to enter paradise in Islamic theology, replete with its beautiful virgins, is to murder non-Muslims or apostates, or even other Muslims who disagree with your understanding of Islam, and to be killed while committing such atrocities. This surely could not be more different from the fundamental values and ethics of both Christianity and Judaism. Frankly, the evil parts of Islamic ideology should have no place in a modern civilized society. So long as Muslims reject the violent verses in the Quran and Hadith commanding them to commit appalling crimes towards other people simply because of their beliefs, obviously they should be free to live as they choose. We're talking about ideology, not about people. And of course, when Muslims going about their daily lives need to be treated with equal respect to everybody else. However, while we have to be extremely careful how we do so, if we are truly to protect our freedoms, which are already being attacked and eroded, and to avoid a future bloody civil war, we all need, as the vast majority of concerned British citizens, to stand up now and say enough is enough. Surely any Muslim in a public office, especially such an important one as Home Secretary or Lord Mayor of London, should be required to repudiate publicly Quran verses such as 335, 489, 4101, 812, 839, 95, 929, and others of a similar vein. If they cannot, they should not be in those positions. Period. Any Muslim who wishes to come to live in Britain should be required similarly to repudiate these vile commandments. Otherwise, they should not receive residency or citizenship. Any Muslims living in Britain should have their citizenship revoked if they are found to have any connection to Islamic terrorist atrocities or who actively incite violence towards other British citizens based on the teachings of the Quran and Hadith. In the meantime, I suggest that as many people speak out as much as possible against the evil that is contained within Islamic ideology. Not, of course, towards Muslims as people, of course. I've met some wonderful Muslims. I'm sure most of us know some wonderful people who are Muslims. And many Muslims may not even be aware of what the darker parts of the ideology they have been indoctrinated into truly teach. And surely most of them surely deserve a rather better set of ethics than what is actually contained within Islamic holy writings. It is frankly outrageous that instead of our government and mainstream media actively facing the moral problem contained within Islamic ideology honestly, that good people in Britain today are being persecuted simply for stating what the Quran and Hadith actually say in our upside-down Alice in Wonderland multicultural disaster. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day. Goodbye.